The expectations for this trip were to start building a relationship with Tootabi Hunting Safaris, introduce them to some of the Badlands gear, and then the hunt was just kind of a bonus on top of that.
I was just excited to come down and see different country and different animals and just experience a different way of hunting. And it was exactly that.
I do more bow hunting back in the States and not as much rifle hunting. So for the first shot in Africa, there's a lot of pressure there, a lot of excitement. It's a challenge unlike any other that I've encountered throughout my life.
Good one to put this camo onto the test and see what they can do.
Sure. It was such a different kind of hunt for me. I almost had the mentality that it was going to be easy. It couldn't have been further from the truth.
50 yards from us and you didn't even see him. That's a freaking huge one, man.
You got to respect these big old brutes like this. As soon as I went on that first hunt, it became kind of an addiction. You get that adrenaline rush, you get the challenge, you get the excitement, and then you get the rush of emotions after you take an animal that I've never felt with anything else.
So let's make you a true African warrior.
It's unbelievable. First African animal, quite an experience, a different kind of hunt that I'm used to out west in the United States, but every bit as heart pumping and as exciting. Just amazing.
When we do harvest, we get to support our families and ourselves off of the meat. It's going back to our roots of what our ancestors did, of how they used to hunt and gather. It's a humbling experience. Having amazing trackers and people that are trained and experts in finding animals and tracking animals. Back in the US where we hunt, we don't really have that, and so that was a really unique experience to have. We saw the antlers of the fallow deer sticking up out of the grass. We got into position and got on the shooting sticks, and we had to wait for what seemed like a very long time. The animal stood up.
Shoot. Thank you.
And gave me just a quick enough time to get a shot and get him harvested. That was an animal that I had seen on TV quite a bit back in the States. People traveling a long ways to go harvest those, and so when I had the opportunity, I felt extremely blessed and honored to be able to do that.
This has always been a bucket list animal for me to harvest. I never thought that I would have the chance to get one, and so it's pretty exciting and just glad to shoot such a beautiful animal.
The kudu was probably #1 on my list. After you've spotted them, you really have that desire to be able to take one home, and hearing that they're the gray ghosts, that they disappear, that they're hard to follow. And so many times we were on a kudu and it would just disappear, and so frustrating because you're so close. He's going up the hill. As much as those thoughts creep in, you just never know what's around the next corner.
How does it feel?
I
wondered what you're gonna shoot on.
Get emotional, man.
I'm sure.
We sent Dixie up the mountain and he couldn't find it. And then that dread and bad feelings just creep in. So we packed up everybody and hauled up the mountain, and sure enough, we found him.
Well done, man.
Thank you, thank you. Just to get my hands on it and spend that moment with that bull, with friends and people around is amazing, knowing that it's going to help people, and that I'll be able to take a piece of it back home with me and remember that experience forever. It was truly amazing. Couldn't be happier with this absolute gorgeous trophy. Africa's a beautiful place. Grateful to be here and be able to hunt here and take a little piece of it home. Respect it and cherish it forever.
We were heading back down to our camp and we came around the corner and it was spotted up on the hill. It was a mountain reedbuck. And it happened so fast that I'm still kind of trying to relive what happened. Once I got the animal harvested, it was almost a sigh of relief. Once I was able to sit down and actually see the animal, it just kind of all hit home, and it was an amazing feeling.
There's a great drought going on down here and very much in need of rain. It's taken its toll on a lot of animals in a lot of areas. And because of that, we didn't think Gemsbok or oryx was going to be on the list. We came upon Gemsbok and we just kind of watched it. It became very apparent that this was an old bull, and you could tell he didn't have the energy to do much of anything. We discussed it and decided it'd be a good idea to take him out of the herd there. Just a real neat experience to walk up to yet another animal that I associate with this place and associate with tough hunting, and you have so much respect for the animals and what they survive out here. Well, yeah, that was certainly unexpected. Kind of came to terms with, okay, we're not going to get a Gemsbok. This animal kind of fell off that list just because they've been hit so hard by the drought and their numbers aren't good, and obviously been through a lot here in his many years, and just going to sit here and admire him for a bit. Absolutely beautiful.
The kudu that we were able to harvest was something that I will never forget. The country that we were hunting them in had a lot of shale rock, and it was hard for us to stay quiet, but for them it was no problem. It was quite frustrating, it was quite exciting, lots of emotions within minutes of each other. We watched two bulls work their way down this other hillside, and they dropped down into this little ravine here, and we were able to get this one shot. When I think of Africa, this is kind of what I think of. The kudu's been a kind of a mindset of what Africa is to me anyways, and blessed and honored to be able to have this opportunity.
I wasn't sure what to expect on the zebra, how that kind of hunt would go down. There were giraffe in the area, there were other zebras, and you're just surrounded in that point by Africa. So we spotted a real nice male, and I was told where you want to hit a zebra. There's almost a triangle, almost a target on the front shoulder there.
this is. Congratulations, man.
Thank you. Thank you.
There you go.
Thank you, Benji.
Great shot on them.
Not sure there's a more beautiful hide on an animal than a zebra. Just to see one up close and be able to put my hands on it was a neat experience and a great test of skill, a much tougher hunt than I anticipated for the zebra.
We've had some extremely good hunts down here that didn't end in killing. The laughs, the scenery is all part of the hunt, and we try and do that the same in the US.
Yeah, overall, this trip to South Africa far exceeded every expectation that I had.
It's amazing.
Great shooting.
Through Badlands and Tootabi, this has been a trip of a lifetime. It has been wonderful. Great people, and would do this again in a heartbeat.